Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A federal agent murder case is dropped. An update with the Board of Elections. And the final results of yesterday's mock elections. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, a 37-year-old federal agent, William Clark, broke down and cried when he heard the judge, Edgar Ross, dismiss his murder case. News Channel 8's Lee Carl files this report from St. Thomas.
Jerome, if there ever was a case that hit the national headlines and also stunned the citizenry here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, it was the Clark case. He's a federal agent, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms and explosives, and he was charged with involuntary manslaughter and a number of other charges in this cow killing. And 3 or 4 days, of course, but what also stunned everyone, both sides, was the decision by Judge Edgar Ross, the senior sitting judge. As they prepared for lunch and testimony on Thursday, the spectators in the courtroom were all stunned, as everyone else, to hear Superior Court senior sitting Judge Edgar Ross announce that he was dismissing all charges against the federal agent William Clark. There's no doubt about it. The people of the Virgin Islands were shocked at this decision. The Department of Justice said, "We consider the outcome of this case to be very disappointing. We stand by the position that the outcome of this case should have been decided by a jury of VI residents, not a single judge," so said Attorney General Vincent Fraser. So the judges dismissed all the charges against federal agent Clark. Now he faces a civil case. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl from St. Thomas. And this just handed to me, we've seen some major fights break out at Central High School towards the end of the school day today. Police units have been sent to the scene, and we will bring you updates on that story as it develops. And in other news, a St. Croix man was arrested after he revved up his engine and then struck and injured another pedestrian. News Channel 8's Wes Small tells us about that story and how to be safe this Halloween.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Back at Ann Schrader Command. And before we go into this weekend, I just want to remind you, please don't drink and drive, especially since it's a Halloween weekend. You never know when the little ones are going to be out there trick-or-treating. 42-year-old Gerhard Stevens of Mount Pleasant apparently had been drinking on Wednesday night around 11 p.m. That's when he was at an intersection. And then, according to a witness, he revved the engine at least 3 times before his tires started to screech. That vehicle then came right at this eyewitness. He dodged out of the way right next to a concrete wall. But nevertheless, Stevens oversteered at least 33 feet. And he hit that guy, giving injuries, a lot of internal injuries. Concrete wall broke, lights and glass all over the place. And then Gerhard Stevens of Mount Pleasant was found at his house directly across the street from the scene of the accident. And he was there with bloodshot eyes, blurry eyes. He failed at least three tests, alcohol tests. He tested 0.176% blood alcohol level. He was released on $1,000 cash bond. Now next, Police Commissioner Novell Francis has issued a Halloween warning for the trick-or-treaters out there. Let's go to Police Commissioner Novell Francis of the VIPD with these warnings.
Police Commissioner Novell E. Francis Jr. asked the community to be safe over the weekend as some residents observe Halloween. He said, unfortunately, some people use this observance as an excuse or cover for criminal behavior. Commissioner Francis said unlawful activities will not be tolerated and anyone observed pulling Halloween pranks will be prosecuted. Commissioner Francis also issued a warning to adults and teenagers celebrating Halloween by wearing masks that conceal their faces that they may be stopped by police and asked for identification. Commissioner Francis said it's not an offense to wear a mask. However, some people use masks as a cover for their criminal behavior. He said if you're wearing a mask at a costume party, please take it off when you're on the public streets.
Well, there you have it. Use common sense when you go out trick-or-treating, and please don't drink and drive for the weekend. Good luck with all the politicians out there and the electioneering. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And happy Halloween to everybody out there as well. And with only 4 days left until the major election, everything seems to be heating up. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Here we are at the Board of Elections at Sunny Isle, here with John Abramson Jr. He is the supervisor. And, you know, John, I got to tell you, even though you always work like a well-oiled machine, this has been something to see. I know you'll be happy, you and your staff, on Wednesday after all the votes are counted. Well, right now, I asked you off camera what we should be focusing on, and your answer was?
Getting everybody out to vote. Basically, we are at the end of the road right about now. The election is slated for November 2nd, 2010. The polls will be open at 7 a.m. and closing at 7 p.m. We are urging everyone to get out and participate in the election. I understand there has been some controversy over the election. There has been some developments and some talk about people not participating. I urge the community to participate in this election. Your say in this community is through your vote. Vis-a-vis, be as it may, whether people like the machine or not, it is what we have. It is all that we have available. And again, we want to legitimize our government by being part of the process. The legitimacy can only be done by those of us that are governed. And so we must participate in this process. And again, I urge everyone, we at the election system are ready, primed to go for election day. And again, we look forward to having a smooth, free, fair, and transparent election on November 2nd.
All right. Thank you very much, John Abramson Jr. And yes, that is a privilege. It's a right, what have you. But our ancestors literally laid down their lives so that we could go out and go to the polls. That's on Tuesday. And, of course, Tuesday night, together with ABC Network programming, News Channel 8 will be breaking in intermittently and giving you the results of the gubernatorial as well as the senatorial and the delegate races, all of that. And if you have any questions that need to be answered about your polling place or what time and for handicapped people and transportation, anything, the number here is, John?
773-1021, or you can call St. Thomas 774-3107 or St. John 776-6535. And really, if you have any problems whatsoever, any concerns, please get to us between today. We will be working the entire weekend. Please call us. We will be here. We'll be able to answer all of your questions.
Here at the elections at Sunny Isle, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. Well, yesterday we told you there were mock elections being held at a lot of the schools here in the territory. Yesterday's school mock elections are still coming in. Here's just a few of the results. Alexander Henderson Elementary School, they chose Kenneth Mapp overall to be the winner for the gubernatorial seat, and Central and Complex also chose Kenneth Mapp as well. Some of the choices for senator included Chucky Hansen, Senator Nellie O'Reilly, Judy Fricks, and Positive Nelson to be some of the big favorites for this year's election. Just a few days more before the big election, we'll find out what the real results are. And when we come back from this break, Bogo's got your entertainment report plus more. Stay with us.